Is secretly feeding your partner veggie burgers worse than physical abuse? Difficult quandary. Posted over at r/ask Reddit. Which, if I'm going to go ahead and throw a quick answer, yes, vegans BTFO is what I would say to that. Vegans, I don't hate you guys really, because to be honest, the amount of times I watch like a video that's like, this is what a slaughterhouse looks like, and I'm like, ugh, disgusting. But then, like, for dinner, I order a burger. You know what I mean? It's one of those cool, ignorance is bliss, is what I like to say. And I know you vegans, you really, really hate that. But what can I say? I'm a human being. We're inherently imperfect, Context on an r/ask Reddit thread about keeping secreted? I think they meant secrets from your significant other. One user says she accidentally fed her partner a veggie burger, and after they loved it, have secretly kept doing it. Oh, well, I mean, I guess this is different. You accidentally fed them this burger. I mean, you could tell them. I would tell them, you know what I'm saying? One user says she accidentally fed her partner a veggie burger, but then they actually loved it, so they kept doing it. I would be like, if I accidentally did that, I'd be like, did you know that was a veggie burger? And they'd be like, damn, I didn't know that. You can keep getting those, though. And that would probably be the end of it. But this is Reddit, so this has sparked the ire of one commenter who apparently takes food deception very seriously and considered it a form of abuse, perhaps even worse than physical violence. This is like that "Am I the Asshole" post that I read about one of the parents was like sneaking broccoli or something in. Like the kid, it wasn't broccoli, it was something. I don't know. The kid didn't like this one thing, but the dad would sneak it in with this other thing, and then the kid would eat it. And it was a good way to sneak the vegetables. And most people were like, nah, you're not the asshole for doing that. You got to do what you can do, because otherwise kids would just eat cookies and brownies all day. But there were like a small handful of people who are just like, this is literally abuse, and your child is going to grow up to hate you. And it's like, I don't know, man. Like, my mom did the whole, hey, man, you got to eat your vegetables. Hey, man, this is what's for dinner. Work it out. You know what I mean? And I don't hate my mom at all. As a matter of fact, I've grown to appreciate that aspect of her where it's like, hey, this needs to be done, though. I'd like to think that I took some of that and I applied it to my real life, where it's like, this might not necessarily be the thing I want to do right now, but in the long term, it's going to be better for me. So I need to get at it and work. And that's why I ate the broccoli and the Brussels sprouts. And now I like broccoli. I love asparagus. I don't like the way it makes pee smell, but I do love asparagus. I love my greens, man. Collard greens specifically. I love those. Turnip greens. I like my vegetables, man. I'd like to thank my mom for that. Deceiving somebody that trusts you with their food is extremely abusive. I'd rather you just be physically violent. That's like the most Reddit. That's like the most Reddit conclusion I think I've ever seen. Like, what are you doing? A bit hyperbolic there. You know what I mean? I'd rather you just be physically violent. I would rather eat the veggie burger. Let's go ahead and let's get a tally down in the comments section. If anyone's happens to be watching at this point of the video, 3 minutes in, let me know if you would rather be punched in the face or eat a veggie burger. Because, maybe you're allergic to what might be in the veggie burger. That's a bit different. If you can stomach a veggie burger, would you rather be punched? And I don't mean like it needs to be aggressive. You know what I mean? Like, it needs to hurt, I need you to know that whatever this physical violence is, it's going to hurt. Would you rather have that, or would you rather have a veggie burger? Because I'm not a huge fan of a lot of it. There's some veggie sausage I've tried that I've really liked. I haven't really found a veggie burger that I like, truth be told. Some get kind of close, but there's always something a little off, you know what I mean? But I've had veggie sausage that I thought was really good. So it's not like I'm, super anti-veggie burger, fake meat type stuff. I've had veggie chicken nuggets before. They were actually pretty good. They actually taste just like regular chicken nuggets. Kind of sketchy. But, maybe if you just really, really hate veggies. But anyways, she is abusing him. What she's doing is potentially illegal too, depending where they live. Press charges and run for the hills. The only sane response. What's the biggest secret you've been hiding from your partner? No, it's equally disgusting and perfectly strong. Femboy. Nothing like, you never know when you're going to get opinions from Femboy. Maybe I shouldn't just be saying names. Of course, 18 plus, I'd imagine they've got very interesting posts on their account. that we're not going to look into. It's equally disgusting and perfectly strong grounds to throw her out. Super abusive. Can I see, like, the other way around would be more problematic. However, 2 years now, damn, it's problematic this way as well for same reasons. If he'd secretly been feeding her meat but she liked it, that's still wrong. Why? Because of consent. I would argue that it's a little different. Like, here's the thing, right? Vegetarians decide to be, it depends, right? Vegetarians decide that they don't want to eat meat. So it would be messed up to feed them meat because, they feel better not eating the meat, right? To them, eating meat is wrong. So sneaking meat to them, that would be morally wrong. Or feeding meat to somebody, like maybe they can't have a certain type of meat because of their diet or they have health issues, or maybe they're allergic. That would be considered wrong. However, there's nothing wrong with vegetables. They have no problem with vegetables and they eat a veggie burger and they end up liking it. I don't know. People have the right to know and agree what goes in their body. He might not even make an issue about it. He might not even see it as a big deal at all, but he has the right to know. I mean, I would agree that he has the right to know. But I think the levels of wrongness, we're talking about a veggie burger here. The level of wrongness differ. Like, I'm not a vegetarian at all, but I have no problem with vegetarians. You know what I'm saying? I would say that if you're a vegetarian and you got fed meat, like somebody tried to sneak feeding meat to you, like a steak, I'd wonder how you fell for it, first of all. Maybe it'd be easier to do with like a burger. But I would think that was wrong of the person to do because you're a vegetarian. You've said you don't want to eat animals. However, this isn't that case. This isn't really a situation like that. It's vegetables. Calm down. Don't ever enter a relationship. You're sick. Hope you've taken your own advice. Hey, you know me, man. It's funny because I could imagine my wife doing this. I could imagine my wife, like, she would it would be obvious that it was a veggie burger because she would make a burger and she would just like, she'd be staring at me like, let me know what you think. And it'd be kind of obvious that something was up with this burger. Either it's poisoned, which I don't think it would be, or it's like, okay, you did something unique with it. And then she'd be like, it's a veggie burger. And I'd be like, oh, you abusive bitch. I wouldn't do that. I'd be like, oh, that's crazy. It's pretty good. I still prefer regular burgers, though, probably. I'm willing to find the veggie burger that I like more than a regular burger, but it is what it is. It's odd, however, I'm fairly sure he doesn't eat meat only. Aside from that, a vegetarian has a very good reasons to not eat meat, and secretly giving him something is incredibly evil. The opposite doesn't apply, in my opinion. Altering or being deceptive all about what food you're handling people is just abusive. Wow, it's crazy that you guys are out. Like, listen, I want you guys to live happy lives and whatnot, but it's crazy that you guys are just like out and about functioning in this world and you're not just like, well, maybe you are just stuck in your homes all day. Maybe that's the case. Maybe you're actually on Reddit all day and this is like a huge concern and you're like, this is actually abusive behavior. And, the regular people outside are like, huh. Like normal people in relationships are like, oh, that was a veggie burger this entire time? That's crazy. It's pretty good for a veggie burger. That would be me, I just want my protein needs to be met, as long as it's got, those patties have a good 15, 20 grams of protein or however much. I don't know how much the veggie burgers have. Had made dinner, here it is, knowing it's veggie, but him probably assuming it's meat. The difference to me is whether it's intentional to see, hey, here's your definitely meat burger. This is where you belong. Oh God, what is it? Kotaku. Okay. Ah, yes, very insightful, intelligent discussion. Stay mad. It opened up at the top and said Kotaku. I didn't want to just click on it and open up here. It could be something weird. Based and true, finally a normal take. r/YouTube drama is full of losers. You got a lot going on mentally. That's a lot of karma just across the board. You're on this website too much. It's wild when you're like, you're reading most of the comments, and this applies, yes, even to Reddit, where I know Redditors are, and people, they make fun of Redditors for the most part. There's a lot of perfectly normal people on Reddit, right? It's crazy when you see a person like this. I see this on Twitter. I see it on Facebook, where like 99% of people are like, this isn't a big deal, or this is a big deal. When you're like the 1% that comes along and thinks you're like some free thinker, because you're like, finally, somebody else that has my take. This is actually the normal take. And it's like, actually, statistically, it's not. I don't know if you know how this works, but you are the weirdo here in this situation. You are the outlier. And I think even in the grand scheme, like this is just Reddit. So we could obviously just be like, well, you know, Redditors. But I think that you are more like a Redditor than a lot of other people. Like this is the Reddit take right here. I mean, look at their karma. 263,000 comment karma, 118 post karma. Now, I think you could literally just post a comment every, like, just find a post and, you know, just comment like, haha, I agree. You'll eventually get to that kind of karma. However, oh man, do I even really want to see? I mean, I'm being nosy. I'm being a little nosy. I just want to see about how much you comment in a day. 19 minutes, 27 minutes, 27. Like, how much have you commented today? It's 11:05. You could be from a different part of the country. I mean, I'm scrolling down pretty far. I'm not really reading any of this. I'm just scrolling down so I can get to like 23 hours. So from here up is what you've commented today. I don't know, man. Maybe you're from a place where it's almost nighttime. Just a little too much for my well-being here, but you know, it is what it is. Would you rather get beat up or be fed a veggie burger? Really difficult choice. I reported my friend to child services because I witnessed them tell their kid that the juice they were drinking was the standard juice, when in reality it was actually the sugar-free variety. Well, I mean, that parent should be killed, quite frankly. Thank you for pointing that out. Call CPS, get that kid taken away. I love the person who disagrees with it just because it's a lot of extra carbs over a 2-year period. That's interesting. That's an interesting point to be made. 2 years is a long time. To be fair, it's also a boatload of sodium, and if you aren't paying attention to it, that can really put you over your RDA. You can pry my veggie burgers from my cold dead hands, but my goodness, they're heavy on salt. Interesting. See, now, that when you actually apply some nuance to the conversation and you get beyond the whole, like, this is a violation of consent and it's abuse. When you get past that and you start focusing on the conversation like, well, it's a lot of extra carbs and it's a lot higher in sodium, then it's like, you know, this is where the conversation gets interesting or really boring. Because I think you could make a valid argument as to, like, if these veggie burgers are higher in sodium than just a regular burger, it might be more unhealthy in the long term. Although I'm sure there's people that would be like, but red meat, all this stuff. But, you know, some people have bigger issues with sodium than others. Feeding your significant other a veggie burger is equal to a beating from your soul. I wish my ex-abuser only fed me a veggie burger instead of putting me in the hospital on 3 different occasions. Damn. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, humor gets us through. I mean, they seem to be relatively in good spirits about it. You know, some people don't make jokes after they go into these situations. You know, I come from an era of, like, you know, I saw people die in my childhood. You know, I remember waiting for the old bus out back when I was 14 and seeing somebody die, shot and killed in a drive-by, and just kind of being annoyed that I was now gonna, because my bus was already late, but now it was gonna be another couple hours. Somebody died in front of me, and I was like, oh my god, it's gonna take another 2 hours. Y'all couldn't save the hood rat shit for another, you know, like after till all the buses left. But you get kind of desensitized in a way, you know. I mean, on the whole, deception of this kind is just not a great thing for any relationship. The question is simply, would the partner care if they knew they were being fed veggie burgers? Yeah, I think a lot of the problem with this drama and these, like, am I the asshole stories is what will happen for me is I'll put myself in that situation and I'll be like, damn, that was a veggie burger? That wasn't too bad. But I probably would be able to, I feel like I'm always able to tell if it's a veggie burger. But I mean, you know, I would kind of, I guess, be concerned about the sodium, like the other person threw out about the sodium and the carbs. But, you know, it would be like, damn, I can't believe it was a veggie burger. Tasted pretty good. Like, that would be, but, you know, I'm not a Redditor to this extent. I am a Redditor. I've been using Reddit more, but, you know, it is what it is. It's certainly no nice thing to do, but good Lord, Reddit always blows this particular issue out of proportion. Personally, I would rather have a cheeky little trick played on me than to be physically beaten. I remember the other day oh my God, for some reason I was going in a back and forth with somebody on Reddit. This woman, like, she ran into a spider web and started freaking out, like that was off her porch. And she basically like let go of her kid in the stroller, and the kid in the stroller was like sliding towards the street. And people were like, "What the hell, lady? Like, you got to get it to get like, we get it's a spider web, but like, you just you almost just got your kid, killed by like the stroller rolling into traffic." And I think somebody was saying, "But what if it was a wasp?" To which I said, well, one of the worst things you can do when a wasp is near is swing at it, because it makes them more aggressive. So you shouldn't do that. And then this Redditor, and don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with being afraid of wasps. However, not everyone is afraid of wasps in the same way you are. I think it should be known. I am not afraid of wasps or bees, like at all. I've been stung by them. It hurt. I just ignore them for the most part, and I haven't been. The time I was stung by them was when I was younger, and I would swing at them. I don't swing at them. I haven't been stung since. But I told this person, like, hey man, it's usually not good to swing at wasps. They get more aggressive. And they're like, oh, look at you, Sigma you. You're not afraid of bugs or insects at all, are you? Like, he was like roasting me because of this. And it's like, all I simply said was, I'm just not afraid of wasps. I'm not afraid of wasps. There are bugs that, like, I don't like big ass spiders, man. I don't like big ass spiders. It's too hard for me to tell which ones can kill me or not, or send me to the hospital. Not a huge fan of spiders. But like the conclusions that he jumped to was like, oh, this guy's saying, because he was talking about adrenaline. He's like, you don't know what you would do in the heat of a situation. When you come across a wasp, in the heat of the situation, you might panic. And I'm like, well, in the heat of the situation with a wasp, I'm most likely, because wasps have kind of flown at me before, I'm just going to be like, whoa, and move out of the way. I'm not going to be like, and freak out, because I'm not afraid of wasps. And his natural reaction, of course, is to go from, he says he's not afraid of wasps, to be like, oh, you're not afraid of anything, are you? You're just a real Sigma male. You're not afraid of bugs, insects, animals. You'll kill somebody if push comes to shove. And it's like, no, I'm just simply not afraid of wasps, you weirdo. But that's how Reddit is, They just jump to the most insane conclusions on stuff. And it's like, it's just, I would get, my advice would be to not swing at a wasp if it's coming at you. If you're allergic, I imagine you panic a little more. But, anecdotal evidence, and also just like, the evidence of, professionals tell you that swinging at wasps is not a good idea. It makes them more aggressive. Don't do that, especially if it's just like one single wasp in your driveway, and you're just, being ridiculous, Anyways, feeding veggie burgers is abuse, and we all know this now. Thank you, Reddit,